I'm Sydney, and this is my channel Rippit Rippit, where I document my life living on a small horse and hobby farm. I moved here earlier this year and moved into this new mobile home. I'm going to talk about a few things today. First, the difference between a mobile home, a manufactured home, and a modular home, and why I decided to go with a manufactured home. I'm still going to call it a mobile home because colloquially that's what it is. And then I'll talk you through the process of what it was like choosing it and why I chose the one that I did. And eventually I'll get into the building and going to the factory and the delivery and all the things that are messed up in my house, because there are frankly a lot. More than are normal. First, the difference between mobile and manufactured and modular homes. So people will use mobile and manufactured pretty much interchangeably. They are different. I'm going to call it a mobile home because colloquially that's what it is, but technically it's not. If a home was built after June 15th, 1976, then it's not a mobile home. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development implemented construction standards then. Mobile homes, manufactured homes, really similar in how they're delivered. They come on their trailer, but manufactured homes are installed permanently. Underneath my house in the crawl space, there are just like parts of the trailer just like hanging down, and a lot of parts aren't there anymore. So you can't just hook it up and drive away like you used to be able to with mobile homes. Modular homes are a lot different. They are set with a crane instead of being driven in on a trailer, and the roof pitch can be much higher. Some of them have multiple stories, I think. Future Sydney here to confirm that yes, some modular homes do in fact have 2 stories. They also cost a lot more. I think it was like $40,000 more because of basement or crawl space, like permanent nice crawl space, not what I have. What I have is kind of a mess, and honestly I'm not happy with it. But anyway, yeah, and modular homes look a lot more like stick build or site built homes, and they follow local codes instead of the HUD standards. I'd originally planned to convert one of the garages on the farm into a house, and that ended up not working out. It would have been more expensive and complicated and time consuming than just getting this guy. And that's a whole other thing. I'll make a video about it sometime because I did have a lot of fun in there. There's so much stuff in there too, and some of it's really cool. I found some really cool things. Also, I am going to be talking about getting a new mobile home or manufactured home. I did look into getting a used one, but there just weren't really any options around here that had that made any sort of sense. The only ones that I found that were used were like on existing sites, and I already had the land. I already had the farm with my friend, and so I'm not going to be talking about what it's like buying a used home because it just doesn't apply to my situation. So once you've decided to get a new mobile home, you're probably going to go and tour some houses. I went to 4 different retailers, 5 places, but 4 different retailers. They sell different homes, different brands, and different models too. They certainly don't have every model available because there are so many. There's so many. But they will have some models available that you can walk through, and some of them will take you through and like show you the houses and answer all your questions and stuff, and some will just give you the keys and be like, okay, go walk through, I'll catch up to you. Personally, I preferred when they walked through with me because that meant that I could ask questions as I thought of them. A lot of places will also have like little booklets with select floor plans, and then they're even more online. Honestly, I find going online and looking at the floor plans to be supremely overwhelming. There are so many. Do it if you want to. I did, but then I got real overwhelmed. There's a lot of variety of floor plans and also quality of the build and also varying customization options. I went to 4 different retailers, 5 locations, and really could see the difference immediately between some of them. I ended up going with a house that I saw the floor plan in the little book of floor plans that the retailer gave me and was pretty sure I wanted to go with that one. They didn't have the model on the lot. However, they did have a model at the factory, and the factory was close enough that I could easily go there and see it. So I got to go and see the house that I thought I wanted at the factory at that lot. So that's why 4 places, 5 locations, because the place that I ended up getting it from, I looked at some houses at the factory lot as well, including the one that I ended up choosing. Definitely make sure you pay attention to the fees because they really vary quite a bit. A lot of places won't do a site visit, they'll just sell you the house, and even if they sell it to you with the delivery included, since they haven't done a site visit, they won't know ahead of time what the process will be like or if it's even going to be possible to get the house where you want it. In my experience, at least, the places that said delivery included, the price seemed better because it would be like, here's the price for the house and delivery, but they didn't factor in any of the other expenses. I chose the retailer that I did because of the quality of the home and the customization options and the transparency about the cost. They were super clear with me about what the pricing would be of everything, and okay. You done? Yeah, so are you finished? Oh my God. Anyway, this retailer included a lot of the project management. So when they went through and they did all the breaking down of budget and everything, it included the site work and the other stuff related to site work too, like getting the electric connected and getting hooked into water and into the sewage system. In my case, that's septic. All of that was listed out for me, so it was very clear, and I had to do some managing of stuff, but not as much as if I'd gone with another retailer. Other places, it would have been pretty much on me to be on top of every single thing, and I got to kind of relax a bit. In retrospect, should I have let them do as much and trusted them to do it right? Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm really happy with the site work, but there are quite a few mistakes with my house. Quite a few. Yeah, I think if I were to do it again, I would be a little bit more helicopter-y, a little bit more involved and supervising stuff. I thought that I could just trust them to do what they said they would do. And overall, they did pretty well, but there also is a lot of stuff that they really did not. Alright, so how I chose my home. I had a list of different considerations. Some things were wants, some things were needs. There were definite deal breakers for me. There also were things that I wanted and floor plans didn't have but could be changed to add. First was what would fit on the land, what would physically fit in the space, what would work with the sewage enforcement officer's requirements. I have an exception, a zoning exception, because my friend already lives here. He already has a house, and so this is an additional house. I am located on a very specific area of the farm. I had to be near one of the wells and ideally the septic system, otherwise it would have been so expensive. Honestly, I'm so happy with my location on the farm. It's great. I think I have the best spot. Like my friend's house, also great location, but I get the deer right behind me. Before I filmed this, I was getting ready, like I was brushing my hair and putting it up because it was a mess, and I looked out my window in my bathroom, and behind me I could see a doe and 2 fawns, like with spots, like little babies. It was so exciting. So I'm really happy with where I am on the farm. But anyway, that was one of my considerations, was just where's it going to go? What's going to fit? I had some general requirements for my house. Good airflow was one of them. I really wanted to have energy efficiency. The way mobile homes are built now, a lot of them just are really energy efficient, which is fantastic. They tend to have really good insulation. Cross ventilation, that's what it's called. I wanted really good cross ventilation. And my floor plan has amazing cross ventilation. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Not with this weather we've been having, these like high 80, 90, 100 degree days. No way, no thank you. But until it gets up to like 85, I don't use air conditioning, and I just have my windows open and I have like a couple fans on, which might sound like a ridiculous temperature for people not in the United States, but we are big on AC here. And also I have POTS. It's a medical condition that is greatly impacted by heat, so I need to like keep cool a bit, and 85 is about my cutoff. It also was very important to me that there be a lot of natural light, because I hate the big light. I have light sensitivity, and natural light is so much easier on my eyes than artificial for some reason. I knew I did not want carpet. I live on a farm, I have a dog, there's a lot of dirt. I have a cat too, but Lupin's an indoor boy, and the dog goes outside. He's a golden retriever. He has a lot of hair. He brings in the whole farm with him on his coat. He's very beautiful, but he's very dirty, and I did not want to deal with carpet. I am not a fan of carpeting. Really not. I like rugs, not carpeting. Drywall was very important to me. There is some other type of like panel walling thing that you can get in your house that costs less than drywall, but you can't do much with it. I have so many ideas for my house. I am very excited about DIY and specifically about repurposing things, and I also really wanted wall space where I can build stuff for my cat. I want Lupin to have a kiddie playground, and so drywall. Plus you can paint it. The things like natural light, you can add windows to a lot of things. And carpet, you can upgrade from carpet if carpet is the thing it automatically comes with. And drywall, not every place will let you upgrade to drywall, but many will. This did not come with drywall, but I decided it was worth it to upgrade to drywall. I had some requirements here for layout, some things that were wants, some things that were needs. So I knew that I couldn't have more than 2 bedrooms because we are limited with the existing septic system here, which I actually had to add on to because it was just too small, like just barely too small. Septic systems are based on number of bedrooms, not number of people, not number of bathrooms, but number of bedrooms. So it doesn't matter that there are only 2 of us living here. We were limited to a total of 3 bedrooms. The floor plan for my friend's house says 1 bedroom, so that meant I could get 2. I could not get any more than that. And the challenge here is with the square footage, that I wanted, pretty much every layout had 3 bedrooms. I was able to label the 1 bedroom as an office. Shout out to the sewage enforcement officer for that. I knew I wanted a lot of storage space. I have a lot of clothes as a fashion girly, non-binary edition. I went to school for fashion design in undergrad, and I have a lot of clothes. I love clothes, I love fashion, and I also have a lot of art stuff because, again, went to school for fashion design. I love fiber arts, I love making things, I love repurposing things. And then I also have a cat and a dog, and Lupin doesn't take up as much space. He's a cat, doesn't take up anywhere near as much space. But Macaroni's a golden retriever. He's kind of big, and he has a lot of stuff. We go backpacking, so I needed space for my gear and for his gear. That boy has a lot of stuff. Don't know how to use it yet, but my mom has a floor loom she gave me. And then I also have my barn stuff. I have my regular clothes, and then I have my farm clothes as well, which I guess are now more of my regular clothes than my other clothes are, but I still love fashion, so I still will dress up just to be in my house. Shout out to my mom for letting me use her basement as a storage facility, because I kept stuff there off and on for a decade. And then I also just wanted space for if I ever live with somebody, if I ever have a partner. Read that as howdy partner, tipping my hat. How do you tip your hat? Howdy, whatever. Now, the deal breakers. The absolute deal breakers for me. Okay, this is so important to me. It was so necessary to me to have a door that went into the living area and to have another door that went into the gross area with the second bathroom. It was absolutely critical to me that I have my nice clean area, which, I'll be honest, doesn't stay as clean as I had hoped, but I was deluding myself. I live on a farm. There's no way I could keep it clean. But anyway, I digress. I needed to have a door that goes into the living area, and I needed to have a separate door that goes into the mudroom area, and I needed to have 2 bathrooms. One for nice, clean area. Another that is Macaroni's bathroom, frankly, and I guess also Lupin's bathroom. His litter box is in there, and it is the come inside with your muddy, gross clothes bathroom. I will not wear my gross barn boots throughout my house. I've given up on trying to keep my house clean. I live on a farm. I have a dog. It's not happening. It's not possible. But my barn boots go in that door. They go in the side door. When I'm wearing my barn boots, it is in and out that door. When Macaroni is gross, in and out the side door only, not the front door. The front door goes into the living area, and I try to keep that relatively clean. I know this is so particular, but if you've been on a farm, it makes so much sense. I needed to have a bathroom where I could come in and be gross, and where I can hose Macaroni off if I have to, where I can give him a bath. I do plan to convert it into a dog bath, that shower, because again, it's the gross bathroom, it's Macaroni and Lupin's bathroom, and I'm very happy with the floor plan that I chose. And then there were some changes I made to it also. I had some extra windows put in. I have an extra window in my living room. I have an extra window at what is supposed to be the dining area, but I use it as my office area and for my floor loom, because the floor loom is huge and you need a lot of space to use it. So it's in the dining area. I love these windows. They're so tall, and my animals love them too. Since they come down so low, Macaroni will lie on the floor and he'll use the window as a little headrest. So cute. He's so cute. He loves it so much. I also have an extra window on that end of the house in the studio, so I get really good lighting in there. Okay, horsey. There were options for this particular floor plan, the like simplest one that cost the least, that I just could not get on board with because I care about clothes. It had a walk-in closet in the bathroom, which is a thing now. There were so many houses I toured, so many floor plans I looked at that had walk-in closets in the bathroom. All I could think was, your clothes are gonna get mildewed. There's moisture in the bathroom. Why are you putting a walk-in closet in the bathroom? Some floor plans also, that was the only closet for the main bedroom, was in the bathroom, which again, your clothing will get mildewed. Because I knew that I would literally never use this closet, I upgraded, and it wasn't a huge amount either, which was nice. I upgraded to the Glamour bath, which has a freestanding tub, and it also has 2 windows. Okay, my phone died. I'm going to try to so fast before I lose the light and on 5% battery. I'm going to try to just finish this off. I think all that got cut off, I'm pretty sure it was just me saying I flipped my floor plan over, and that is because the original floor plan had the second door and Macaroni and Lupin's bathroom and the studio and guest room on that side of the house, where there's the small garage, so that would block the window for the like side window to the studio, and it also would mean that when I walked down the road from the barn, I wouldn't have a straight shot. I'd have to walk down and then walk that way and then cut through the cars and then go in. And by flipping it over, that meant that I have straight shot, barn to door. All I have to do is walk down the road. Like, I didn't realize that until I'd already said, like, let's flip it for this reason. But I get to see the sunset out of my studio window. It's so nice. The last things are just getting your finishings. So that is taking out your floor and your counters and your cabinets. So for my cabinets, I went with just this like light brown wood because I'm a dopamine decor. I think it's decor. That might be decor, decorations, decor, whatever. I like bright colors, and I went with cabinets based on what I saw the most potential in, not what I like the most now. And then with the floors, I went with the floor that I like it aesthetically, and I think it leaves me a lot of options for paint colors to go well with it. But also, it hides the dirt so well. I live on a farm. I have 2 animals inside. The one is a golden retriever. Like, Lupin's not that messy as a cat, but Macaroni is a golden retriever. He sheds so much, and he brings in the whole farm with him. And then what's left? Oh, the counters. I went with like a faux marble laminate because it looks good with the existing stuff, and I figured that it'll go well with pretty much anything, so I won't be limited in all the fun colors I can do. Everything looks good with marble. Alright, hopefully I kept the framing pretty much the same. My phone died. But yeah, that's sundown on this video, literally. Hopefully it was helpful and entertaining. If you liked it, please, click all the buttons you're supposed to click. And next video in this series will be about visiting my house in the factory, I think. I think that'll be a fun one. Okay. Bye! You two are so helpful.